What's going on, guys? Welcome to November's episode of Game of the Month, the show where we play a game at random every month, and at the end of the month, we talk about it. My name's Seth, and joining me today, of course, is Chevy. Chevy, how you doing? Hopefully you had a good Thanksgiving break, and hopefully you're excited to talk about Ghost of Yotei and find out, our Game of the Month, and find out what we will be playing in December, finishing off 2025. The year went by so fast. How you doing?
Doing good. It was nice to have some time off. Though, obviously back to work tomorrow. So
Yep.
Not looking forward
Goes
to that.
quick.
But there'll be more days off soon. So, as far as like Ghost of Yotei goes, I'm looking forward to talking about it. But I'm also kind of bummed out because I didn't get as far as I would have liked. But as I'm sure we will talk about, it's not a small game. So
It is not a small game, and just so people know, I did beat it this weekend over the break. I was like, I have to beat this game. So I put a lot of time into it, but even before this weekend, I'd put like 20 some hours into the game already, and barely made progress. So there's just a lot, and obviously we're gonna talk about it, but just so everybody knows, I beat it. You didn't. Completely understandable, because if I didn't plug the time in this weekend, I wouldn't have beaten it either. So I was like, I might have to just do this as an impressions review and not as a review because I don't think either of us are gonna beat this shit. So
yeah, it's I got a lot more to go. I'll just say that much.
Oh yeah, you definitely do. Glad you're doing good. Glad everything over Thanksgiving was good, and I'm excited to talk about this as well. But before we talk about Ghost of Yotei, we have to find out what we're going to be playing in December. For anybody new here, we have a list of back burner games, and we spin a wheel every month, except for the months that I pick, Shelby picks, you guys pick, and then we both pick. I did that backwards, but you guys get it. We're going to spin the wheel, whatever it lands on. We will dedicate time this month to play, hopefully beat, or play it enough to be able to talk about it and review it at the end of the month. For people listening and not seeing what we're looking at, the games on our list as of current are Armored Core 6 still on there. I never beat that, so I'd like that to come up at some point, so I have a reason to beat it. Skyrim, that's one of your guys' picks. Tekken 8, technically one of your guys' picks, but it was already on there. Salt 2 we've just added because it's a game I've been playing a lot, and Chevy already has picked it up, so it'd be convenient if we got it. Elden Ring, Night Rain, 7 Days to Die, Civilization 7, Fantasy Life I, The Girl Who Steals Time, Earth Defense Force 6, Dead by Daylight, another one you guys voted for, Pokemon Infinite Fusion, another game from last year, I believe you guys voted for, Unicorn Overlord, which would be interesting to get, and then Project Zomboid. Anything you're hoping for this month, Chevy?
Well, we got a pretty stacked month when it comes to PlayStation, so
Stay tuned for Plus Club. We'll be talking about the games that we played throughout the month on PlayStation Plus, but and we'll talk about this further, but just so you guys know, on PlayStation Plus we have 5 games that we have to review in December. So
I would love something simple, though
I'm about to delete everything that's going to take more than fucking 20 hours.
I don't know how many simple games are on that list anymore, so
yeah
so I guess I'm just gonna have to try to be good about my time.
Oh, for PlayStation Plus, I'm diving right in as soon as the games are downloadable.
Yeah.
I have to get in on that quick.
Yeah, it's crazy. I think, though, easiest ones to do just because, very varying reasons. I've played and beaten Skyrim in the past, so that'd be pretty easy to get in and just kind of play around in.
We should try to do the multiplayer, though.
Tekken 8 would be easy.
Night Rain would be easy.
Yeah,
just going runs.
It would be easy. Civ 7, though it would be a very long sit, would be easy.
Yeah.
So.
I don't think that would be. That's the newest one, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, we haven't played it.
Man, I obviously experiencing it myself will be interesting, but I have not heard good things about that game.
Yeah, that kind of happened with 6 when it first came out as well, but not to this degree.
Yeah. EDF would be super ezy. It's a big game, but I don't think I've ever beaten one of those anyway, so they're just massive.
Yeah,
and then Dead by Daylight would be pretty easy.
Dead by Daylight would be so easy.
Unicorn Overlord would be rough.
Yeah, watch that one get picked.
Yeah, I would have to get on that sooner than later, though I think I'm trying to beat this year, but yeah, we'll play whichever lands on.
I would. Well, I guess I wouldn't have to. I was gonna say I'd humor buying it again on Switch if we got Unicorn Overlord, so I can play it on the go. But I have a PlayStation Portal,
Yeah.
so and that's not like a high latency. Like that's not a game where you need to be like
No.
on your shit. So I could just like
It's effectively turn-based.
yeah. So yeah, might dabble with that if that happens. Yeah, I'm in the exact same boat as you though. We have a stacked month for games we have to play over on the PlayStation Plus side. So I'm hoping for something simple. Salt 2 would be super easy for me. I've already put like 30 some hours into that game, so gonna play it anyway. Tekken 8 would be super simple. I'd be fine with any of these, really. I mean, the only one I'm like apprehensive about is Pokemon, just because I don't know anything about it, and I'm still kind of worried about how we're going to cover that on our review. But other than that, I would be happy with most of these games. So I think I'm ready for this. Are you ready for this?
Yep. Let's see what it is.
All right, let's find out what we're playing in December, the last game of the month for 2025. In 3, 2, 1, and go. It is spinning, and it is just cruising, slowing down. And we are going to find out that I was right. I gotta stop talking. Unicorn Overlord is our game of the month for December. What a game to end the year with a stack of 5 other games we have to play this month. Shit.
Yeah, it's a big one.
Yeah, what do we think?
So I've been needing a reason to play it anyways. I bought this game and I played a little bit, and the little bit I played I really enjoyed, but I would like to like commit to actually playing it. So I'm just gonna have to really buckle down and try to get through as much of it as I can, hopefully beating it, but I don't know exactly how long the story is, so we shall see.
It's gotta be like how long to beat Unicorn Overlord? For anybody listening, I'm asking AI. 47 to 50 hours.
So like 80 for me.
And it says you can play up to like 80 with extra shit to do. So
yeah, so do my best.
That's a big game. Okay,
It's a big
if that's the minimum amount of time, we'll try to beat it. We'll try to beat it, but no promises.
And for those of you at home, that is on PlayStation and on Switch. So
Yep. So if you want to play along with us, or if you've played it already, look forward to what we have to say, and hopefully what you have to say about our review of it, or impressions. Probably, I don't know if we're going to be able to beat that with the amount of games we got to play this month. So
do my best.
yeah. All right. Well, I'm oddly kind of excited to have to play it because I played a little bit already, and I just don't have time to play it.
Yeah.
But now I have to play it. So
Yeah, I love the art style. So
yeah. Well, everything those guys make is always really neat to look at. So all right. Well, look forward to that. We'll be playing Unicorn Overlord in December. All right, so the game we did play in November was Ghost of Yotei. If you can get a chance to play Ghost of Yotei, it is the sequel to Ghost of Tsushima, in which you play as a different character in a different time in Japan. Atsu, who goes through something as a child, leading her to revenge of the Yotei 6, very Kill Bill-esque, where you are going through and knocking them all out, or maybe you do or you don't. You'll find out as you play the game. And yeah, it is a third-person open-world action game where you explore around Yotei is the mountain, right?
Yeah.
Mount Yotei. You explore around there, and you fight a bunch of people with samurai / ninja style combat mechanics. You do a main quest. There's a bunch of side quests to do. There's a bunch of locations to find. In fact, exploration is huge in this game because it is the way you progress in this game. You don't level up and get skill points. You have to find shrines in specific locations, whether you find them organically or they're given to you by a cartographer who gives you locations to go check out for skill points. There's a wolf companion in the game that has their own missions that as you play those missions, you get specific perk points for the wolf, whether they show up randomly during battle or when you play certain songs on your what's it called? Shamisen. It can show up. Yeah, this game trades out the stance system from the first game for a weapon system in which you have a bunch of different weapons, from katana, dual katana, what's the kama, kusarigama, right?
Oh, that's what I meant to say.
Yeah.
And then Yari.
Spear. you have a bunch of different weapons, and you're able to switch out those as you did with the stances. But in this, it has kind of a rock, paper, scissors system in which you want to use certain weapons for certain other types of weapons to counter them. But you can kill anything with any weapon. It's just some people are going to be better at defending against certain weapons.
It's harder to break their block.
Yeah.
So.
Then you have throwables like the first game. This one introduces some new ones, or at least one new one that I thought was kind of interesting. I don't know if I can talk about it, though, because I don't know if you know about it. And, yeah, what else? A lot of exploration, a lot of fighting stuff. There's random camps you have to take out, like the first game. It's very similar to Far Cry if you haven't played the Ghost of Tsushima games. And a whole storyline. Oh, a bunch of cosmetics, too, and outfits that actually have, what's that called? Like... Substats, thank you. So, you know, I have like a ninja outfit on where it gives me a bunch of stuff where it's like harder for people to see me or hear me. You know, it's beneficial for me to like take people out and assassinate them. But then you have other ones that are like more like you have this ability in this that's like Onryo, like yell or whatever, and it scares everybody and it gets super powered. There's like an outfit that helps with building that up and being more strong in that. So you have different ways to play. And I think that's pretty much everything. There's probably a lot of little details I'm missing because it's a big game full of beautiful locations to explore. We both played it. Chevy, let's have your impressions of Ghost of Yotei in November.
Okay, well, locations are absolutely beautiful, as to be expected after the last game. It is an absolute joy to just get lost and wander around. Everything, you know, looks really different, and the way they handle like color palettes is a lot of fun. Even though it's like, you know, you'll go into a field of like red flowers, for example, and like, yeah, it's just all red there, but like the way it's like crafted looks really cool. I'm in a place right now where most of the grass is like a golden color, but there are purple flowers interlaid within it, and it's just like really nice looking. So
yeah, the area I was just in has all these sakura trees, but they're all like vibrant neon pink. And even though, you know, it's not very realistic, it's like gorgeous looking.
Yeah, and it's a very art forward game.
Yeah.
So, and I love that. So.
Similar to the first game too. I don't think either game looks like bad, but they're not like the best looking games on PlayStation. A lot of people
on a technical level.
On a technical level, yeah. I have to be specific about that because I see people all the time when they talk about the best graphics in games, they'll mention Ghost of Tsushima and Yotei, and I'm actually surprised by that because the technical graphics are not that great. They're good. They're AAA. Yeah. They're AAA. You can see pores and veins in their skin. It's
character models fantastic.
It's detailed, but it's not like Death Stranding detailed. But they're able to render so much moving foliage and these vibrant, crazy colors and long distance. What's that called? View distance. And they're able to get like really creative with the artistic visuals of the game because the graphics aren't as high as they could crank them up to, and so, you know, I think the artistic design is much stronger than the
art direction's fantastic
than the graphics, but the graphics are good for sure. So
yeah, well, and the other thing that's nice about the art direction is like they do a really good job of like kind of it kind of helps you know where you're at because like the zones are very they are separated basically by color palettes. And so it's a fun way to kind of like keep you aware of with like where you're at with it. Like you almost never have to really open your map. You kind of like pick a destination, similar to the first game. It has the wind current system, which acts as your guide, which is a nice like UI, a decluttering way of like directing you around, which is I enjoy quite a lot because it's still you still get to explore while it's happening. Because if you come across something and you decide I'm a detour for a moment, the wind keeps blowing the way of your objective, but you can still do whatever the heck you want to do over here too. So
I'm gonna be that two things I was gonna say because you mentioned the wind thing. There's something in accessibility that will actually point your character anytime you do the wind in the direction where it goes, and I turn that on. Because I was like, this is kind of handy. I'm like riding, and then I flick up to use the wind to see where I need to go, and it instantly just turns me where it's at.
Oh, okay.
And so I was like constantly spamming that if I was trying to find something. So just so you guys know, if you didn't know that was a thing. But also, in a game that has such a soft HUD, where it's like organically just in the world, and I think it's fucking awesome the way they do it. because it gives you all the information you need. In fact, there was like a door that I was looking for on a mission. I looked over and there was like leaves blowing up against this door. I'm like, oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Really cool. It sucks, and I'm not going to get into the whole conversation. It sucks that the ledges are still doing the yellow paint thing. It's not as bad as yellow paint 'cause it's not ridiculous looking, but it's like bird shit. It's like all white.
Super obvious,
it's super obvious. And in a game that's already taken the steps to like make other things so like visually cool in the sense of how to guide you on where to go, like the wind, like the leaves blowing against the door, which is kind of like, this is like the story of the Ghost of Yotei. It's even when you leave areas, it's like, do you want to leave the story like location or whatever? It's telling a story, so it has like this whimsicalness to it. I think there could have been such a cooler way to highlight ledges with the yellow paint. Basically, they could have done it like have leaves blow up the cliffside or something that's a little more visually stimulating than like bird shit. But it's just kind of interesting because the rest of the game, I have no complaints about it. It's like such a cool visual thing that they put so much time into, and
Right.
with the ledges, like it's they fell back to lazier shit. So
Yeah. And it doesn't bother me too much, but I definitely understand where you're coming from on that for sure.
I also have like a thing against the climbing in this game though, because like it's not as fluid as I would like in like, I don't know, Uncharted or something, but like it's very sticky. Like you hold the direction and you climb in that way, but if you don't wait for the second that you're like reaching your hand at another thing, and you jump, a lot of times you'll jump right past it.
Oh, yeah, I've done that.
Which drove me fucking nuts.
I've jumped off a couple cliffs.
And if you're climbing with other NPCs in your story, and this happens a lot in the game where you're like walking around with people, which I like the immersion of that.
Yeah.
But you better be either letting them go first or figure out what the fuck they're doing, because there's multiple times where I would be standing there and another dude would be standing there, and I'd go to jump, and then they would jump, and then they would latch on, and I'd just go flying off and die. And I'm like, are you fucking serious?
Yeah.
There's one place on a mission where I died, I'm not joking, like 7 different times trying to climb through this area because this guy kept just getting in my way, and he'd like bounce me off, and I just like fall, and I'm like, this is crazy.
Yeah, well, I mean, I would agree if I had an honest complaint of the game. I do think the climbing and parkour system basically could be better, because there's been times where like I went to jump and it's just a branch, and you only really have one jump, distance unless you're sprinting, and you never really need that to make these jumps.
Yeah.
I went to jump on this branch and I didn't stick to it, and I jumped past it.
Yeah, there's.
I was just like, okay.
I'm mixed on this because I when it works great.
Yeah.
It feels buttery smooth. I played the first game a shitload, and so I got really used to how movement felt. And in this game, it feels pretty similar, but there's so much that's being automated that if it doesn't do what you want it to do, it'll just completely betray you, basically. And so, like, there's times where I'm jumping around and I want to jump to that thing, and then she grabs it and it's working perfectly. But then sometimes I go to jump and do something, and then she just doesn't register that she's going to grab onto something that I'm jumping towards, and she'll just like fall.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, come on.
Yeah. I've experienced that too. So it's definitely pretty common issue with specifically the climbing system. Another aspect of the exploration that I am a little mixed on, because they did in the first game as well, is the birds that help you find things. I do think it is a nice way to do it, like without having a UI element, but I do kind of hate that if you ignore them, they just insistently hang out with you.
I feel like they're extra annoying in this game for some reason. I'd be like on my way to something else, and they'd like fly in my face, and I'm like trying to turn away, and they're like, it's still there. And I'm like, I don't. And then sometimes they'll lead me to something really fucking far away.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm like, because I'll be like, okay, fine, it must be in this area. And then it'll take me somewhere completely fucking different. I'm like, well, that was goddamn a derailment.
Yeah, I almost wish there was like an option to like shoo them away, and like maybe when you return, like they'll come back type of thing. But yeah, because there was a couple times the same bird, because I was trying to do multiple things in this area. I just kept hearing it, and I was like, oh my god, okay, fine, what are we doing?
Yeah, they really want you to go.
So otherwise, though, I do think that system is a fun way of basically pointing you in the direction of a hidden thing.
Wasn't there foxes in the first game?
Yes, and there are in this game too. They're just not as abundant.
Yeah, I don't remember them really.
Yeah, I've done 2 now, and they take you to fox shrines as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I did follow one. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just that was like a main thing in the first game because
Yeah.
it was kind of like had a lot to do with the main character in that versus this one's more about wolves.
Yeah.
And so you do a lot more of the wolf stuff in this, which is a fun mechanic. It's also if you spend the time doing it, if you're having like difficulty with the game, it does slowly kind of give you an NPC to help you do stuff if you want. And you had brought up the shamisen to play a song. After doing enough of these wolf mini game or side quests, I should say, it becomes easier and easier to you basically gain the trust of these wolves. And I'm at the point now where I do have the song to summon a wolf to come help me. I also have a passive now that if I'm doing that screaming thing, there's a chance a wolf will show up to help me then too. And it's just kind of neat that's even an option.
There's one perk with the wolf I found interesting because I never summoned the thing unless it happened because of one of my perks. But
Yeah.
there's one where if you go down at the sequence where they walk up to kill you, the wolf can sometimes jump in and interrupt it. And it happened to me once, and it was actually I completely forgot I even had the perk. But I had died, and I was out of revives or whatever. So I was like, okay, whatever, let's just restart. And the guy's walking up to stab me, and all of a sudden the wolf jumps up, grabs his wrist and yanks it, and then I was able to get back up. And I was like, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, a couple of the things that, and it's just a kind of a neat system, and obviously it's completely optional. You can just ignore it if you want to. But I was using I can't remember what it's called, but when you're yelling, and you're terrifying people in front of you. I was doing that, and all of a sudden this wolf just came up, the guy in front of me, and just took him out. I was like, oh, okay, that's one less dude I got to worry about.
Yeah.
The other one, I had one hanging out with me when I was taking over a base, and I threw a sake bottle at someone, and the wolf took that as a cue to go attack them. And I was like, oh, okay, that's kind of cool. So
Wolf's a lush.
yeah, if you stun someone, they basically will take the opportunity to just go grab them for you. So, not something I'm actively necessarily doing, but I think it is neat that's even in the game. So, this game still has an archery system, though it also has other gadgets that fit in that tree as well, and they're all fun and useful. I bounce around through all the ranged weapons all the time.
I almost never use them.
Really?
Yeah.
I like to use them to thin out, especially at fortresses and stuff like that, like the archers and anyone who's not wearing helmets and stuff like that.
I like playing the game like Metal Gear Solid, so I like to sneak around
Yeah.
and take people out up close.
Well, and then when I
Although the new system where you can grab weapons and throw
Chuck
them,
'em,
I
yeah.
use that all the fucking
yeah, I've
time.
put points into making it better too. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's especially if you decide to go in and quote unquote go loud, we'll say, just being able to between that and the paper rock scissors system, you can really kind of get into a flow. There was the one fight where I had to fight these guys with the spear. I got to fight this guy with the sword. This person with dual katanas, and then I'm picking up weapons mid fight. I'm throwing them at people. I have a disarm ability now as well. So I was just going through all these things. I must have mess with most of the functions in that one fight, including throwing some of the gadgets mid fight as well to kind of give myself some breathing room. So it's pretty cool. There's a lot of choice in the combat, which is a lot of fun. So.
Yeah, especially towards the end when you have everything unlocked, like the 2 bows, the rifle you get, which has been shown in the trailers. I don't remember if it's shown in the trailer or not, though. So I'm just gonna mention it. There's a pistol you get too, which becomes a quick fire thing.
No, I don't remember seeing that, but it's not that big.
Yeah, the game's been out for a while, but that's crazy because you just be fighting with the sword and just go boom and shoot somebody, and I fucking love that.
Oh, interesting.
There's one guy I didn't even want to mess with, so he came running at me. I'm like boom, 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 and I shot him dead. It's I don't even want to fucking fight you. But yeah, so there's a lot of things. The kunai you get where you could throw those into people.
That was in the first game.
I used a lot of the quick fire abilities in combat just because it flows so well.
Yeah, I use the only one I really have of the quick fire abilities is the throwing smoke in people's face right now, and that one I like using on bosses specifically because sometimes they'll go start a really aggressive combo, and I just go no, stop. So, because it'll interrupt even bosses, which is nice.
Even in Tsushima, I would spam that shit when I was playing Legends a lot. Like anytime there's a guy who's like slightly more strong than other people, I'd run up and do my you do like a critical strike. It's not an assassination,
Right,
and then
right.
I'd hit him with the dust, and then I just kill him real quick.
Right. Yeah. I guess since we're on combat, I'll kind of touch on the paper rock scissors system of the game. At first, I was a little worried about it when we saw the trailers and stuff like that because I didn't find myself really using the stances that much in the first game. I
Yeah, I was just mid stance.
do find myself switching weapons constantly in this game, and I think it's because there's just a very clear advantage to breaking their defense fast in this game.
You know what's funny is I actually only switch weapons because I get bored, but most of the game I use the katana against everybody.
Yeah.
And it's because when I got it maxed out towards the bottom, there's one of your perks for it is like you do more break damage. And so I would just hit a dude until he broke and I'd kill him.
Yeah, well, I also think it's like the very like neutral, safe weapon too. So
Sure.
like it, I think it has less weakness to it.
But the game has a really cool system that I think is almost OP, so it's cool, but not, also kind of not. When you get the Kusarigama, you can use it as an assassination weapon, and you're able to throw it across and yank someone to you to kill them, which is cool, but also makes stealthing a little too easy. But it's neat because even if you have the sword equipped, if you're far away, you'll still use the Kusarigama and pull them, but then you're now equipped with that.
Gotcha.
So it has these systems that you don't have to switch to the Kusarigama just to do your stealth attacks.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
What's-
I end up using that a lot because I stealth a lot.
Well, it's like I was playing before we started filming, and I had just unlocked being able to swing instantly upon switching weapons, which is super nice because a lot of times, especially like if someone comes up with the Kusarigama, I will switch to the spear and try to hit them immediately because they're pretty good about either like they'll catch you on fire and try to start just like attacking you like crazy, catching you on fire, or they'll do a lot of the parry attacks over and over again. But if I can switch over real quick and hit them real quick, and then also I have the jump kick unlocked as well, I can basically keep them like off balance while I break through their defense and finally be able to kill them. So again, I just kind of plays into the fact that there's just a lot you can do in combat. So and even between the two of us, completely different play styles and be able to do that. So which is cool that it even offers all that. So let's see. I don't want to get like too into it. The Shamisen system I think is neat. It does. I'm a little biased. I think it's a beautiful instrumentalist do anyways, but they do a really good job of like giving you a lot of songs to play and listen to and stuff, and you can do them either in like a role playing sense or there are actual practical songs.
Yeah, I never used them.
Which I have not used either, but they do. If you're like trying to be a completionist and you want to get like all the wolf dens, all the hot springs, there's songs that will like kind of like point you in the right direction so you know which direction to walk towards. So I think it'll be good for people trying to platinum the game for sure. Yeah. Story wise, so far it has been good. I don't think it's been great, but it has been good. I do enjoy the story. I think they've done a good job of making it interesting enough to move you forward. I think Atsu, right, is well done. I wasn't sure, obviously, how much I was going to like her. They didn't really show a lot of her in the trailers. You do a lot of talking in the game, so you're able to actually like listen to her speak. I think I'm playing in Japanese, but the Japanese VA is doing a very good job.
Oh, okay, that's a huge difference. I don't know if it's the same person doing the English and Japanese, because the actor is Japanese. But yeah, I'm playing it in the original standard version.
Yeah.
Just because I want to play it as originally intended, I guess.
Yeah, I didn't go full like Kurosawa mode or anything like that, but I did switch over to the Japanese voiceover, and this is a Western game, and they did a good job with their Japanese dubbing of it. So I've been pretty happy with that. The only reason I made that choice is I am a fan of a lot of Japanese VAs, and so I always like to like maybe catch someone like I recognize, type of thing. So, yeah. I don't think I have a whole lot more because I honestly I could probably talk about a bunch of the game and just to throw out where I'm at, I'm somewhere between 20 and 30 hours in the game, and I am still heading towards my first boss. It is a big game.
Yeah, I was like 25 hours into the game before this weekend. I hadn't even killed the Oni yet. So over this weekend, I went through and knocked it all out and beat it. So, because I was like, I'll never beat this game if I just keep doing all the extra shit. So,
yeah.
Anything else?
Overall, I'm having a blast with it, and I fully intend to continue playing it. So.
Okay, so before I talk about my thoughts on this, I'm just going to go through the things I have complaints about, basically, which I think we already kind of went over a little bit of it. But traversal either works really well or doesn't work very well because there's so many automated systems that it's like deciding where it thinks you want to go sometimes when you've left the ground and jumped. That could be better. I think the NPCs also can be really fucking annoying in terms of like traversing areas, get in the way, blah, blah, blah. There's one mechanic in this game I fucking hate. I hope I never see it in another Ghost of Tsushima or Ghost game ever again. And it is used constantly. And it is those times where there is something that you have to throw your hook on and pull it out to open up pathways. They use it nonstop in this game for everything, whether it's jail cells, going into caves, whatever it is. You have to hold R2 to throw it. You can't preemptively hold L2. You have to wait for it to prompt you. Then you hold L2, and you do this a million times. So I'm like trying to just get it, like, okay, let's fucking do this. And then after those two things, you have to pull back on the left stick. And you do that by yourself constantly throughout the game. But then it always finds a way for an NPC to have to help you with it too. The exact same thing you've done a million times by yourself. Sometimes she's like, get over here and help me. And then they come over and they grab the rope, and then you're both sitting there pulling. It's not fun. It's not a fun mechanic, and you have to do it constantly. And it also feels nonsensical. So I'd like to see that never put in the game again. Similar to how Naughty Dog for a while there was obsessed with putting ladders up or moving dumpsters constantly, to the point where people were like, okay, we get it. You do this a lot in this game. This is that in this game.
It's also kind of interesting too, because like other like mini systems like cooking or painting or playing the shamisen, right?
Yeah.
They have a skip button if you don't want to do
Sure.
those mini games. And so I do think it's interesting that for
I thought those are neat though.
Sure, but my whole point is like that is an optional. You can either do that or you can hit the skip button, because like obviously you're gonna do it a bunch of times. It's just gonna be repetitive. It is interesting they didn't add like a skip option for that.
I'm wondering if that's a loading thing.
It could be.
I think like when you're pressing those buttons and doing that, it's like, okay, to load the next area.
Possibly, yeah.
Because otherwise I'm like, why? This isn't a fun mechanic. Nobody's like, fuck yeah, dude, I love doing this. And waiting. While an NPC helps you or they don't. And that's probably one of my biggest complaints about the whole game. So pretty minor complaint, because most of the game's not that. But you do it a lot. It's crazy. My other complaint about the game is there is a child character, and most of what happens around that child character and the dialogue starts feeling a little Blues Cluesy to me in the writing department, and it was kind of insulting to my intelligence.
I obviously have not done
Yeah, I'm not going to say anything other than there's a child character. Everyone knows who I'm talking about.
Okay.
But yeah, I thought that's where the writing kind of felt like it was falling off a cliff for me, which kind of sucked. Because overall, I think the story is fine. I think it's a serviceable story. I've beaten the game. I'm not going to talk about the details of it. But as a vessel for you to play a game, it feels kind of like you're playing a Western, and it works as a mechanism. But we've played games like this before, like Ghost Recon Wildlands and shit, where there's just like a boss in this region, a boss in this region, you got to defeat them. We've played games like this before, but so I wish the story was like a little more interesting, but it works. One other complaint I have having to do with kids again. I don't know if this is like this in Japanese, but in the English version of this game, Atsu's past self as a child is, I believe, played by Erika Ishii, the person who plays the adult version of Atsu. And at first I thought it was a fucking joke, because it's the same person's voice, but they've modulated it. So it just, so it sounds like her, but it sounds like her nose is closed and she's just a little higher pitched, but it sounds like really weird.
Yeah, it's not like that in JP. Or at least it's not modulated. It sounds like if it is the same person, they're at least trying to sound like a kid. So
Like you listen to her talk, and she's like, I am Atsu, blah 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 blah. And then you go in the past since the little kid version, and she's like, I am Atsu, blah blah. I'm like, why'd you do this?
Gotcha.
Hire like a kid actor, or get somebody who sounds closer to a child to play this. It's so stupid sounding. And now notice, I didn't complain about the other kids' voice actors in the game. It's purely just this character that's like ridiculous. And I brought up to Josh too, and he was like, "Yeah, I hated that." And I was like, it's so weird."
Yeah, so I've not experienced that in the JP dub. So
Yeah. Hopefully they would have a little more self-awareness to not do that with but it might be the same actor. I don't know. I don't know if she did the Japanese stuff. I don't even know if she speaks Japanese or not. But yeah, so those are, I think, my major complaints. Outside of that, though, like I was saying, the story's serviceable. I didn't love it. I think it had some strong parts in it, though. So I'm not like sitting here saying it was a bad story. I just think it was like fine. I think Ghost of Tsushima's story was better because it feels bigger and more epic, with a great finish. This game, I kind of predicted everything that's going to happen outside of one key thing. I'll just say it, Kitsune. You guys know what I'm talking about. That was interesting. But the rest of the story was pretty predictable. Not that it needs to be a big surprise for it to be good, but some of the things I thought they were going to do, I was like, don't do that. I know you're going to do this. And then they did. I'm like, okay. Specifically around the end, something happens, and I'm like, yeah, I knew that was going to happen, and not in a good way. But the story's fine. I didn't dislike it. I know a lot of people had their complaints about this game when it came to Atsu as a character, the story, the voice actor who played Atsu, who I don't think deserves to be nominated for best performance. I don't think she's of that caliber with the other people, but I don't think she did bad either. Like, a lot of people complain about her for political reasons. I get it, whatever. But as a performance, she does fine. Her writing sometimes sucks, but like she's fine. I had zero problems with how she played the character of Atsu. If anything, I think Atsu was kind of written kind of meh, but whatever. It's not her fault. So, story's fine, but could have been better. But we're going to get more Ghost games, so maybe we'll get another one where I'm like, this story's great. They're all going to be different. And then the performances were fine. I thought everybody did a good job. Some of the writing feels a little too Western for me, though, where it doesn't really feel like you're in Japan, because it feels like something that would be set in like a modern TV show here. But not a big deal. Slight nitpick. But yeah, graphics are good. The design is phenomenal. We already went over all the visual effects that kind of allow you to go and find things. I love that outside of the bird shit. The combat is a lot of fun. Specifically, I love the stealth in this game. I always kind of forget when I think about stealth games that the Ghost games exist.
Yeah.
I loved it in Tsushima. I loved it in this game. It's very satisfying to sneak around a place and take dudes out. There's a lot of tools to get that accomplished. The combat itself is also a lot of fun. It does start to feel a little repetitive if you've been playing for like 25 hours and not progressing because you don't unlock things. But once you do get into the game and start getting all these different things, there's plenty of ways to fight. And I do think at the end of the day, it is better than the stance system, because the stance system I didn't like at all. I was like, I don't want to switch between stances. I don't want to do the rock, paper, scissors thing with stances or whatever. And you do have to still do that with the different weapons in this. And I'm not a big fan of the rock, paper, scissors system of that either, because I just didn't pay attention to it because I didn't need to. Not saying anybody who uses it needs to, but I just want to use weapons when I wanted to use them. I didn't want to have to think about like, oh, he's got a shield, I better use this now. So I'm not a big fan of that system, but I love the variety of different weapons, the variety of perks. By the time you unlock everything, you have a shitload of perks you can unlock for every individual thing. The spear has its own tree, the Kusarigama has its own tree. Like, there's a lot going on there that really gives you a good variety of how to fight, which I thought was great. So it is an improved system. I definitely like having different weapons over different stances. Kind of similar but different. But I don't give a shit in either game about the rock, paper, scissors system. I'm not a huge fan of that. But it's also fine because you can use any weapon and kill anybody. It's fine. You just get a major edge if you use the right weapon.
And I agree with that. I don't know if this is just like a placebo effect of it, but I definitely feel more incentivized doing the rock, paper, scissors in this game than I did in the last one. So.
It's just more interesting.
Yeah.
Because you want to use the different weapons, but maybe you're just kind of like locked in and using this weapon, and now you have this reminder of going like, but if you use the spear, you're going to have a better time against this guy. And it's like, oh, yeah. And then you switch. So you're incentivized to explore the variety of weapons, the buffet of weapons. Whereas in the first game, you didn't have that.
I also think it's like just visually fun to like be fighting a guy with katana, and then as you're turning, you're switching, a weapon, and it animates really well.
It has a good flow, yeah.
And then you're fighting with the spear.
Yep.
And I just like that just looked really cool.
I also like that you visually have all the weapons on you.
Yeah.
So it feels like you're walking around with just a bunch of fucking weapons. So it makes sense to be pulling out different things and
yeah, for sure,
going at it. In this game you have the Onryo Howl thing, whatever the hell it's called, Onryo mode.
That's it.
In which you build up a filter and then you click your sticks in and you basically stand really intense and everybody freaks out and lays down and you kill them all.
You have an intense presence.
Yeah. Which I know a lot of people had issues with the lore of that. I don't care. It's a gameplay mechanic, and I almost never used it. I think it's a useful tool, I guess.
I forget about it, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't like ultimates like that in games, especially single player games. I'd rather figure out a situation based off the tools I have. It's more fun for me than just going like, everybody stop, I'll kill you now.
Yeah.
But a lot of people, like I said, had problems with the lore aspect. I don't give a shit about that. As a gameplay mechanic, it's not that interesting to me. But also, I wasn't a huge fan of the, what's it called, Ghost Stance? In the first game? It was like the similar thing. So yeah, not a huge fan of that, but I don't hate it. I just didn't use it, so it's cool. The Wolf Companion thing is also interesting because they're not a full-on companion where you just have them all the time. They're a mechanic.
Yeah.
I feel indifferent about it. I could see it. I could take it or leave it in the next game. If it comes back, it's a neat system. I like the dynamic aspect of the wolf showing up randomly, and you increase that with perks or whatever. But I also never felt like, oh man, I need this fucking wolf to be here.
For sure. I think it serves the same purpose as like being surrounded constantly by foxes in the first game, right? It just is like kind of the thematic of that character.
Yeah.
Where a lot of Tsushima, you really are relying on these foxes to help find all these secrets versus like in this one, you still do kind of help out foxes and stuff like that from time to time just because it adds consistency to the world being, still the same game series or whatever. But the fact that, Atsu is referred to as, a little wolf basically, it just has more, I guess, symbology. And if it was in the next game, I would hope it was similar how they handle the foxes in this one, a very occasional thing.
So, I would like to see in the next game a different theming of like, not having a wolf, but have something else, maybe a bear in the next game.
Sure, is the main thing, but like still like for continuity's sake, maybe like there's a moment where there's like a wolf den or something like that, right? But not like it's the same as like I've done 2 foxes total versus like that was a huge thing you did in the first game.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but saying when I said take it or leave it in the next game, I would like to see them do something else that's not the wolf system, but keep the multiple weapon system because I think that's better than the stances. But yeah, I could take or leave the wolf system. Whether they want to do another companion in the next game or not at all, I wouldn't care. As long as they compensate with those features being put somewhere into something else, because I don't want to lose features. But it didn't really enhance the game a whole lot. But thematically, it worked, so it made the world work, whatever. Exploration was cool. It does get a little tedious with the amount of climbing you have to do in the game, just because I don't like the climbing in this game. It feels slow and sluggish, and it doesn't feel intuitive. It doesn't feel reactive very well in the sense of when you jump around, you have to make sure you're reaching at it before you do anything. And there's a lot of locations you have to climb to, but I do like that there's always at the very least, visual payoff of everywhere you go. It's gorgeous looking once you get to the end of it, but also there's always a reward. There's always something. There's always a way to progress, which is how you progress in this game. So I liked that. I liked the exploration too much to the point where I wasn't progressing in the game. Story. I do think the game is a little... I know in this game they really wanted to emphasize that there's no pressure, there's no stress, you can do whatever the hell you want, and everything will just come to you, and it will get you to the end. You just don't worry. Like, if you camp, people will come visit you. You can take on everything you want at any time you want. I like that in theory as like a sandbox, but at the same time, I'm not somebody who has a problem with like motivation in open world games typically, but in this game it was a little too freeform. I wish there was a little more structure, because there was like a point where I went and done the Oni, and then I started working on the other area, and I completely forgot that in that area the spear guy's there. So I'd played on just doing my thing, and then I was talking with you and you brought up the spear in that area. I was like, oh shit, I need to go back and get that. So I went back. Not a big deal. It's easy to go do. But the game's so freeform. It's just like, yeah, just do whatever the fuck you want. I'm like, can you theoretically beat this game and not have all the weapons? Because I almost was on track to do that.
Right.
Because I was just so focused on, like, I got to focus on the story and start beating this game because I'm never going to beat it. So it's not a complaint. It's more of an observation of, like, it's just, like, so freeform. It was, like, almost hard for me to continue doing things because I'd be like, oh, what's this? Oh, what's that? Oh, there's a bird here. Where does it want me to go? Oh, it's taking me over to like fucking a whole other region of this map. Oh, now I found out a wolf's den and I'm doing this. And it's like you're always doing something. You're always active. But man, there's a lot of shit going on constantly. And it's just the game's just like, yeah, it's fun. Do whatever. And I'm like, okay, but also remind me I should go do this or something. I don't know. I feel like there's too much freedom here. Oh, this game has a mini game in it where you flick coins. It's not a card game. I love that. Thank you so much for having a mini game in a game that's not a card game. Almost every game that has a mini game is always some kind of card game. You got to learn all the rules, and I'm not opposed to it, but I typically don't play them. And that's how you gamble in games. In this, it's like you flick a coin, it has to contact another coin, but it can't hit another coin or fall off the table. And so you just, did you ever play it?
No.
Oh, okay. Because I'll say you're silent about this. But you go around and you flick a coin or whatever, and it's just like a skill test basically, and it was refreshing to play a game that didn't just have another card game. I'd like to see more games do mini games that aren't just card games or dice games. But that's less.
I've seen 2 Gamblers' Dens, but I was not inclined to even try it. So
well, some missions you have to just go do it anyway. But But I did it because I was like, oh, what is this? It's not not a card game, and it's not like the most fun in the world. But in games where like there's this whole gambling shtick, I never interact with it because I don't want to play a card game. But in this game, it's like this simple game where you flick coins or whatever. And I was like, oh, I can actually do this. Like, it's something I'm a little more interested in because it's like physics based. It's more fun for me. So I appreciate them thinking outside the box of not just card games in games like this.
They did that kind of similarly too with like the some of the miscellaneous mechanics like lighting fires and like cooking fish and stuff like that too, where it's like super interactive and like a little more interesting than just hitting button. So.
Well, and some of I'm just going to call them out here. If you guys are part of this faction, I apologize. Nothing against you personally, but part of the He-Man Woman Hater Club people on X who really hate this game. They at one point were complaining about like mini games. They're like, why is this game just full of mini games? And why is everybody talking it up like it's the greatest thing ever? I'm like thinking like this is the only game on the fucking planet where somebody is complaining about mini games. Mini games are always welcome in almost every game ever. And Ghost of Yotei is full of like cooking mini games, the shamisen thing, like all these things to interact with that you don't have to do.
The painting,
yeah. I thought these were neat little touches. It's cool to have things in between the core gameplay that gives you these refreshing little things to do that doesn't make the whole game feel like the same fucking monotonous journey. And I thought it was really neat. Outside of the thing where you got to break the shit out to get into a jail cell, I hate that. But like everything else, really neat. I love that, even though it got a little tedious after a while, but like starting fires, it would have been cool maybe later in the game.
You can skip them. So.
Oh, can you skip that?
You can just hit skip.
I never did that. And after a while, I'm like, I get it, but I guess I just wasn't paying attention. But like the fish thing, I thought it was neat. Like I put more mini games in games. I fucking loved it.
I don't want to be on this topic too long, obviously, because
I don't either.
The obviously could be an issue, but
it's just fucking forced hate. It's so dorky.
It's weird to me because like Shenmue and Yakuza are like praised for that. So
yeah, nobody played those games and
went,
what's up with these mini games? Yeah. It's like, okay, I get it. You don't like her, whatever, man. But the fucking mini games are fine. And I thought the game was better for it. I hope the next game has more mini games. I fucking loved that.
Like.
You know, like you said, you skip them.
You have this very expensive controller that can do all this stuff, and they're actually using it.
Yeah, so it's awesome.
Also, that reminded me of something. One thing I hate about PlayStation games in general, and it's optional, I can shut it off, but like when they use the speaker controller, I almost always hate it because the thing is so just treble, tinny, whatever, right? It's barely used in this game, but it has only ever actually enhanced the sound that was happening. And I was like, whoa, weird.
Yeah. Yeah, they used it selectively, but when they did, I was like, oh, it's interesting.
They did it good. Like, it was not annoying. I have no desire to shut it off. So,
yeah.
good job. It's like the first game ever. So
Yeah, the game's full of like creative ideas.
Yeah.
Like I don't know why people. Well, I do know why, but
sure.
but it's illogical. And if you can skip them, cool. You don't have to do them. So
Yeah, they're all skippable, other than the rope pulling the
yeah,
walkways open.
that's
not
just
skippable.
And this isn't an egregious, Ghost of Yotei sucker punch thing. This is just something that happens sometimes in game series, and we look back on and go, I don't know why they relied on that so much. But after talking about it, I feel like it's a loading thing because I don't know why they'd make you spend so much time doing that. But yeah, overall, I enjoyed my time with Ghost of Yotei. I thought it was a really solid AAA game. I feel like it does overall enhance everything that the first game put out there, which is what you want a sequel to do in a safe way. I don't think they made like a huge jump from the last game, but I do think the story is not as good. I do think the main character is fine and serviceable. I don't have any major complaints about the story, but I do think it fell a little flat compared to the first game. Completely fine. And I can't wait for Legends. I loved Legends in the first game. They are making Legends for this game, and with all the new systems in this game, it'll be a lot of fun to interact with that in a multiplayer way. I'm also curious to see if they're going to do what they did with the last game, where you just go on like these runs, or if it's going to be like an open world thing. That'd be kind of interesting as well.
I'm sure they learned a lot last time.
I hope they just go bigger and better than they did with the first one, because the first one's amazing. That was such a cool free update that I hope they just go all out with this, and then sell packs like Helldivers does with those where you have these
pseudo battle passes.
Yeah, thank you. Do that, make some money off of it. Like, who cares? Yeah, overall, really enjoyed Ghost of Yotei. Some complaints, but I definitely enjoyed it and would recommend it. So, anything else?
No, I think we said a lot. So
yeah. So with that, let's jump into recommendations. I would recommend this to anybody who likes third-person action games, anybody who likes stealth games, anybody who likes Japanese stuff at all. Anyone who's into visually artistic endeavors in gaming, anything that tries to go out of their way to make it look visually, not just realistic looking, but has a visual flair to it that's more artistic. This game definitely has a visual style to it. Anybody's into open world sandbox games where you can kind of get lost and do whatever the hell you will do that in this game. Yeah. What else?
if you're into the Sony game formula.
Sure. Yeah. If you're into Sony AAA games, this is one of those for sure. Also, if you played Ghost of Tsushima, and I typically when I say this, I say ironically, where I'm like, if you played last game, you definitely played this game, because why wouldn't you have? But there's a bunch of people who kind of broke off away from this game because of the political aspects of it or the female aspects of it, who played the first game and say they liked it. I believe them, I guess. But there's people who still haven't played this game because of certain things that they're upset about. And I would recommend this to you. If you liked Ghost of Tsushima, you will like this gameplay-wise.
It's the same game.
With more stuff. So if you enjoyed the gameplay of Ghost of Tsushima, I recommend you Ghost of Yotei, because it's just more of that. And I think you'll enjoy it. Just if you really play in Japanese or whatever language you need to, so you don't have to hear that actor if you don't like them. You're going to have to look at them, but that's just... Somebody else probably played that out. I don't know, maybe. But that's just, they took some pictures of her, put her in the game. Try to look past that, I guess, or put a mask on or something. I don't know. But, yeah, you're missing out on a game that's really good. But also, if it's like a political thing, I'm not going to tell you not to support people financially.
It's your money.
I'm not going to tell you have to support somebody financially if you don't agree with them on something. But there's more than just her and one other person in Sucker Punch who made this game. There's hundreds of people who made this game. You don't have a problem with 99% of the people who worked on this game. So I recommend the game to you. But again, if that's enough for you not to play the game, I also support your right to not support anything financially, because I would be a hypocrite if I tried to tell you not to do that. So, because I always say vote with your wallet, no matter what. Yeah, that's my recommendations.
Yep. I can't add anything.
Collectibles. If you like to collect shit in games, there's so much stuff on this map you got to go find.
Yeah.
All right. Grades. I'm going to give this... I've pretty much been locked in for half the game and it never changed. I'm going to give this a very solid, strong A-. It's a fantastic AAA game that has some weaknesses, some repetition problems, but the overall experience is an example of why AAA is still important. As we keep discussing how AAA seems to not really be pulling their own weight, specifically Ubisoft and other people, other companies. There is still a reason that having a big team with a lot of money gets you certain experiences that indie games can't give you just yet, and this is one of those. It's a big, expensive game. It feels like that, and it's a lot of fun, but it has some issues, and a story that's whatever. But I think most games have whatever story. So, A-, confident A-.
Yeah, I mean, the point of the game I'm at, I also am going to give it an A-. I'm having a fantastic time playing the game. I want to play it right now, but
definitely beat it.
yeah, well, I intend to. I pretty positive I platinumed the first game. I am likely going to be down to do that with this game as well, because I just enjoy being in the game. So
if you like Japanese stuff, like that's such a simple recommendation, but if you like Japanese stuff,
well,
you're gonna love this.
There's part of my grade is definitely biased of that. Like it's just like aesthetically fantastic for me to play this game. So yeah, and I've had besides some minor gripes, which would make the game better, and the fact that they played it a bit safe with this game, which isn't a bad thing, but it makes it hard for me to really go much further than an A- right now, and I haven't beaten it, so I can't have a hard opinion on the story. So just my current experience, A- for sure. So.
One thing I didn't talk about in our review that I feel like I should mention is this game has the Kurosawa mode from the original game, which makes it black and white and gives it an audio thing that makes it feel like it's an old movie. And then they added, I forgot his name, but the guy who, Watanabe, mode where it's lo-fi music while you play. I played with that a little bit, and it was kind of neat. But one thing I kept on the whole game was the Miike mode from Takashi Miike, the director, in which it makes the game more violent and gory. And I turned that on at the beginning of the game. I never turned it off. It's so satisfying to stab people in this game, and blood just goes everywhere. So that's another thing that I think is better than the first game, is they added more of these features that I'd love to see them do in the next game as well.
Yeah, well, I don't even think I have that on, and I'm covered constantly, so
it's pretty gory. It's kind of gross. You'll kill dudes, they'll be laying on the ground, and then blood goes and shoots out of them randomly, and it's gurgly and stuff. So
interesting.
It's pretty neat. If you want more gore to your game,
how I turn on
and it's a fun celebration, just like the Kurosawa mode of a lot of Japanese cinema being super gory. So I kind of love that they, and Miike of course is a culprit of that. No wonder he's the name behind it. So
right.
I would love to see them celebrate other directors like Yotei Kitamura and stuff. That'd be fucking sick. But I loved that. I love that they added that. I'd love to see them add more. Even though we're not reviewing the game anymore, I just wanted to add that because we didn't talk about it. Let us know in the comments what you guys think about Ghost of Yotei. Have you played it? Have you not played it? If you haven't played it, why haven't you played it? If there's any political reasons behind that, I'm open to talk about that, of course. Just try and be fair about it, because there's some people who are just fucking
civil.
Some fucking negative people about this shit.
Yeah.
And it's so just mind-numbing and boring. But yeah, if you didn't play it for a certain reason, tell me why. If you are planning on playing it, let me know. And if you have played it, what do you think about it? Have you beaten it? What do you think about the total play time? How long did it take you to beat this? Did you do every little thing? What do you think it stacks compared to Ghost of Tsushima? What do you think about the story? What do you think about the characters? What do you think about the things they've changed since the first game to this game? Do you prefer the weapon system over the stance system, or vice versa? Is there things you'd like to see them go back to, revert to Tsushima? What do you think about the wolf system? And just tell us everything you think about in the comments below when it comes to Ghost of Yotei. And that's gonna do it for this episode of Game of the Month. As always, thank you for watching. Thank you for joining me for this conversation, Chevy. Thank you guys if you stuck around to the very end. Hopefully you did, because you got to hear us talk about the Miike mode, which we forgot to mention. And stay tuned. We are doing Plus Club right after this, so we'll be talking about those games. And until then, have a good one and take it easy.